Boom. All right. Yes, sir. Back in the win column. Back in the win column. Look, before we get into anything, I just want to say, okay, I'm in complete understanding of the fact that the Sixers were missing James Harden, missing Joel Embiid, and that this win isn't some like season-defining win and blah blah blah. I get it. I understand. I know that's going to be the conversation. Oh, can't be happy. We were supposed to beat them, and I would say I agree to an extent. But at the same time, we've lost three straight games. We've had three straight post-game poutings. I don't like being sad. I don't like losing. And we almost lost this one. And that would have been a catastrophe. So if for nothing else, we are celebrating for the fact that the crisis was averted. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Put your hands together because we're going up. Bring the energy, bring the positivity. We saw some things we wanted to see. And some of those things are what led to us winning this game in the first place. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Knicks fans here, there, and about. Welcome to Postgame Prosperity with I Hate Sean. This is Postgame Prosperity. I'm I Hate Sean, and the Knicks survived the 76ers tonight, 106 to 104 on the road. Really good win. I mean, just good to win the game. It was very frustrating. This game should not have been this close, but we played poorly. We turned the ball over a lot. We struggled to. I don't know what was going on. We struggled to get stops at a point. We couldn't get any offense flowing. We went like 4 minutes, like 4.5 minutes without a field goal late in the game. And, that's tough to do in any game you want to win, regardless of who's sitting out or who's playing. Tyrese Maxey went off. He had a really good game. Happy birthday to him. But I'm happy we're able to hand him a happy birthday L. And so we're back to 500. But first and foremost, we won, guys. We won. Evan Fournier is out of the starting lineup. And see, I can't. I must say, I'm a firm believer in can't hold anybody responsible for what they don't say. I say that all the time, but just also you got to call everything out. And so last night in post game pouting, or last game in post game pouting, I was going off saying it's ridiculous. This is unacceptable. That's on Tibbs, and I can't keep doing the whole tolerate the blah 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 nice guy thing. If we're gonna keep doing the same things, I demanded adjustments. I said there's no way that we can go into the next game with Evan Fournier starting. I think I said that 30 times last year. Maybe 20, maybe 30, maybe even 40. I said that a lot of times, and it never, ever, ever happened. Today is a day that will live forever in New York Knicks history, in the lore of Knicks fans everywhere. The day that we stopped starting the worst shooting guard in our team. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I've never been so happy to take somebody out of the starting lineup because we never took that other guy out of the starting lineup. But I am overjoyed, very happy about it. Grimes didn't get a lot to close. We're still going to have to figure out some of the minutes. I'm looking forward. Cam Reddish was excellent tonight. I'm looking forward to Cam Reddish eventually playing Evan Fournier out of the rotation completely because that's what's best for the team, as I've been saying all year. So when you got Cam playing that way, you got Quick being who he can be, you got Grimes playing, there's really no reason at all for Evan Fournier to play basketball. There really isn't. No hard feelings, no whatever. There's simply no reason for it. But one thing at a time, I understand that, so I'm very happy about that. Thank you, Thomas Thibodeau. Also, another thing that I was clamoring for after the last one, I said, Obi can't keep not getting on the floor. We have to put Obi out there. If you don't want to put him in the three, you have to try it. You got to try Obi Randle. And then today, Mitchell Robinson gets his third foul, leaves the game early, and I'm like, this would be a good time to try Obi Randle. Then we find Mitchell gets hurt. Really hope he's okay, but we find out he's not coming back to the game. I thought we might get Hartenstein and Sims to death. I thought he still wouldn't go to Obi. He went Obi Randle, and the results of it were phenomenal. If he doesn't go Obi Randle, we probably don't win this game. And so I would like to thank Thomas Thibodeau for trying it, for trying something, giving it a chance, and we got to see how it would work. I didn't like the whole, we saw that small sample size, and that sample size, it wasn't good. I thought that was kind of bogus. We saw it tonight. And now I feel like because we saw it, you have to embrace what we're seeing. You can't ignore it. So we can't go back to seeing Obi out there for 13, 14 minutes. Get Obi Toppin on the floor. He made some huge shots. He made 2 threes from that corner late in the game. He was huge tonight, man. Shout out to Obi Toppin. I am so very proud of him. That's my guy. Way to do your thing, bro. Way to do your thing when you got the opportunity to do so. As soon as I saw that lineup happen, I was like, I really hope that it goes well, because if it doesn't, we will never see it again, and he will feel justified in doing so. Well, we got to see it now. We got to see it some more. You got to try it. Cam Reddish, like I said, doing an excellent job, making it impossible not to play him. Super impactful in both of his stints. He was impactful on both ends in the first half. He was impactful on both ends in the fourth quarter. Really big time deflections, activity, getting to the basket and finishing well creatively. That step and he had his jumper. Just really good job by Cam Reddish tonight, man. Solid. Everything you want him to do, he did. We got a really good game out of R.J. Barrett, I thought. I thought that R.J. shot the ball well at points. He got to the basket well. He had some, pretty creative and clever finishes. I thought that he still had some calls that he didn't get. He hit the boards tonight. And so, really solid game from R.J. Jalen Brunson gave us a solid game. Made a couple of big shots. Played with some good pace and control. Not his best game, but a solid one. What else? Julius Randle. 13 points in the first quarter. And he hit his free throws down the stretch, though. That mattered. He made his free throws. That was big for us. But, 13 points in the first quarter, and then, not anything after that. And, it wasn't a good night for him. I hope that I just want us to get a good night for all the guys simultaneously, and I know it doesn't happen every night, but I want us to get in the flow. I want us to get in the rhythm. First game with a new starting lineup, it's okay. It happens. I hope that, Quentin Grimes is more comfortable and gets some more run out there, and, hopefully those minutes come away from Evan. But there's too many talented players on this team, man. There's too many talented players on this team, and the talent has to get on the floor. And so we've got to give guys an opportunity. I'm glad we did it tonight, and it led to the dub. Did I miss anybody? I said Quick. Quick was, I like Quick's activity. He's on the boards as always. He played well defensively. But my goodness, my guy couldn't get a shot to go tonight, man. It was painful. I'm looking forward to him, getting into a rhythm shooting-wise and, just knocking the shots down. I'm really, really hurt, honestly. I'm actually in physical pain because my lock screen is R.J. Barrett. That's him at the free throw line when I was at the Garden. And my home screen is Quick. I don't know if you can see it on here, but I had a 17-leg parlay, and I got everything except I needed one more assist from Quick, I needed one more assist from RJ, and I needed 5 more points from Quickly. So that really hurts. And the one more assist from RJ, there were so many times it could have happened. He made a couple beautiful passes into the corner for Jalen Brunson threes. He had a couple he threw a couple lobs away, unfortunately. And there was a pass to Quentin Grimes where he passed to Quentin Grimes. Quentin beat his man up the dribble, got to the rack. They called the foul, and the layup rolled out. I almost fell to my knees. And yeah, Quick was, he was putting them up, but they weren't going to 1 for 7. That's tough. 1 for 7 from the floor, 1 for 4 from 3. But 6 boards. Very, very active, good defense. I thought he still did a great job. He just didn't hit shots, and you just hope those shots fall. But yeah, man, missing out on the parlay with the 2 guys who were on your phone screen for $2,000 just hurts. What else? I think I got everything. What's that? We're 9 minutes in. Yeah. So let's get to the comments. Hartenstein also did a solid job, man. That was a solid game from Hartenstein as well. He hit the boards. He did his job when he was out there. 10 boards in 20 minutes. 8 points, 10 boards in 20 minutes. That's solid. Boom. So yeah, let's get to the comments. How y'all feeling? Neil said an exhausted year. Exhausted indeed, bro. That game was more stressful than it had to be. But once again, it was a dub. A win is a win. A wise man once said, so what if we won ugly? Bill Cowher. That doesn't apply as much here because you shouldn't win this ugly to this team. But what do? We won. Ultimately, 4-4. And no matter how much you win by, no matter how much you lose, it goes in this, even the Hawks game, we were up by 23. It's a loss. Doesn't matter. Nobody says, oh, you were up 23 though. When at the end of the year we're jostling for playoff position, hopefully, nobody's gonna be like, well, that one game right there, Harden and Embiid were out, so you got it. Doesn't matter. 4-4. Landis said, "Let's go, baby. It wasn't pretty, but we up, yes sir." Neil said, "How we feeling, Sean?" We up, just like Landis said. We up, man. At the end of the day, it's post game prosperity, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. We are prosperous. Friday night Knicks with a dub. Coming back. We got Boston tomorrow in the Garden. So let's get a solid showing for that game, and put a good one together. Put a good one together. I want us to come out and play to the best of our ability, and I'd like to get a dub. Protect the Garden. I'd like to beat Boston. It's possible. We can beat Boston. We beat Boston a couple of times last year, and we weren't good at all. And I think, especially with Evan Fournier not starting, I think this team is much better. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how we match up with RJ and Grimes on Tatum and Brown. It's gonna be tough, but I think we can make it happen. Vizzy said, "Oh, the Jadakiss." I feel like I still didn't do it. He has like a raspy / high pitch thing going that's very hard to replicate. But yeah, no, I don't have it. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna embarrass myself anymore. Vito said, "Evan Fournier becoming $70 million Theo Pinson." Hey man, first of all, shout out to Theo Pinson. But hey man, I can't stress it enough. I will say it until I'm blue in the face, and it's finally happening. So I'm very happy, and I'm hoping that he is out of the rotation completely soon. But $78 million poorly spent on the bench is way better than $78 million poorly spent on the court, bro. After this season, that is an expiring contract. It was 3 years plus 1 with a team option. The team option is clearly not going to get picked up. You dangle him an $18 million expiring contract is not hard to move. Sit him down the rest of the year, trade him in the offseason, and whoever wants him, whoever needs money, whatever, whoever needs that whatever. I could not possibly care less. Nick said, "Man, a win is a damn win. Let's go, Knicks. You know the vibes, yes sir. You know the vibes. We up on Friday Night Knicks, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing." Neil said, "Street saying Friday Night Knicks just built different." Friday night, Friday night Knicks on MSG, front row seats. One last chance to get there. We had to get there. We made it happen. We got there. And so we got a really good start to the weekend. Tomorrow getting a dub will be an amazing continuation of the weekend. Come on, let's get it. Boom, boom, boom. Claudie, my guy, was good, bro. What a W. It was gruesome, but a W is a W. Exactly. I'm glad we all understand that, man. A W is a W, and we are not in position right now to be snooty or uppity about W's because we've taken some L's. Landis said, "That was the Obi game." Hey, man, Obi was phenomenal. Phenomenal. Come on, man. Let's get to my guy's stat line, man. Come on. 17 points in 20 minutes. 6 for 10 from the field. 3 for 6 from 3. Absolute sniper. Absolute sniper, bro. Come on, son. Stop playing with my guy. Boom. Let's see. Jamal said, "Obi Julius minutes won us this game." That's an absolute fact. Obi Julius minutes won us this game. I'm interested to see what he says on the podium. Because I know somebody's going to ask. Somebody better ask. Because a lot, he's like, "Oh, yeah, it just didn't work when we did it, when we tried it." I didn't believe that. And he said, those games. He said, I think there was the sample size was like 105 minutes or something like that. I don't want to be inaccurate, but I think it was like 105 minutes. And he said, we didn't win those minutes. And then they were like, "Well, actually, we did win those minutes." He's like, "Oh, yeah, but I looked at the tape and, the times where they did win the minutes, it was in blowouts and garbage time and stuff like that." And I'm just like, if there's only 105 minutes over the course of 82 games, how much of that can really be in garbage time? And, if so, let's say 20 minutes of it is garbage time. And that skews the numbers like that. And then it's like, okay, so now you have, 85 minutes left? At some point, you really don't have much of a sample size if you're going to exclude some of it. So I just didn't get it. But I'm glad now we all saw it. There's no discrepancies. There's no, "Oh, yeah, no, I checked and this and that." Nah, it was right there. We were going to lose the game. We tried that. We won. So now, going forward, I had to see it more. And that leads us to the next comment. Plainsman said, "I would like to formally apologize for any Cam Reddish slander. Dude is a baller. Dude is an absolute baller." And once again, We saw it. He's on the floor. He's impacting the game. This isn't the first time he's done this. Excellent defense, getting to the basket and finishing, knocking down the jumper, getting out in transition, like active hands in the passing lanes. He impacts winning basketball. He impacts good basketball. So he's got to be on the floor. He cannot, now that Grimes is starting, Cam Reddish cannot fall behind Evan Fournier in the pecking order. Like, Evan Fournier needs to move behind Cam Reddish because Cam Reddish is better for this team. Whether it's in the starting lineup or off the bench, Cam Reddish is better for this team than Evan Fournier is. Plain and simple. Jamal said, brutal W, but a W nonetheless. That's a fact. Ansel was good. Hey, yes, sir. Neil said, crazy what happens when a coach is actually creative instead of being a rigid war criminal. Yo, I don't know. Maybe bullying works. I'm scared to say that because, then he'll start going back. He'll put Evan Fournier back in the starting lineup because he's stubborn like that. But, I mean, I'm just glad that he made changes. I'm really happy about him making adjustments. Thank you, Tom Thibodeau, for making adjustments because we asked for it. We screamed for it. We yelled for it. I literally, yelled. And so I'm glad that we finally saw it. Dia said, thank God we won. That win was much needed. Thank God we won. That was much needed. Much needed for sure. That would have been a horrible, oh my goodness. Oh, would have been, it's not the greatest win, but it's a win, so it's good anyway. But that would have been a horrible loss. Like, abysmal. Putrid. It would have been disgusting. Killmonger was right. Is a hilarious name. Dude just saved his job. Saved his job by getting rid of Evan in the starting lineup and going Obi Randall. That would have been, the seat would have been really hot if we lost that game. That late fourth quarter lineup is so good. Excellent lineup, man. Excellent lineup. You got length. You got switchability. The floor is spaced. You got a bunch of different guys who can put the ball on the floor and get to the basket and also knock down the jumper. That's the way that you should be playing basketball in 2022. Vizzy said Evan Fournier less than Cam Reddish. I don't think there's enough less thans there, brother. I don't think there's enough lessons there. I'm not gonna. I as many times as I might say it, I don't want to harp on it too much because at the end of the day, one step at a time. He just got taken out of the starting lineup, so I don't expect too much. But there's no reason for Evan Fournier to play basketball on this team, bro. I said it since the offseason. We have too much talent between Grimes, IQ. There's no reason for Evan Fournier to play basketball on this team. Grimes, IQ, Cam. There's no way. Neither one of those three guys is going to be able to get enough minutes with Evan Fournier playing. Honestly, it'll be tough to find out who gets enough minutes even without Fournier in the rotation. But don't waste any of those minutes on Evan Fournier. Cam Reddish is much better than him. Jamal said that... I read that. Okay. Juan said, let's go, man. Let's go. We got a dub, man. Come on. I'm happy to be in post-game prosperity, man. CJ said, we've been asking for that lineup forever. Forever. Come on. To you forever. From me to you. I heard somebody say church. I'm going to need a suit. Boom. Nick said, only 14 minutes for Fournier. Next game, give him 14. Let's go, Knicks. Yes, sir. You know the vibes. 14 minutes for Fournier, and outside of that one shot where he spun and put it off the glass, we didn't need a single one. Come on, man. Don't want to harp on it, though. This is a celebration. But part of the celebration is that we took Fournier out of the starting lineup, man. What a day, man. One of the best days in Knicks history, for sure. Landis said, I feel like Tibbs did all that with someone in his ear. Felt like it hurt him to play the right guys. Hey, man, I feel like he might have watched the last post-game powder. Nah, I'm kidding. But, I was literally, it's unacceptable. Evan Fournier cannot start another game if we're serious. He just couldn't, man. And so I'm glad that change happened. And then with Mitch being out, I'm sure we wouldn't have got Obi Randall tonight if Mitch didn't get hurt. But, I'm hoping that Mitch is okay moving forward. But I'm glad that it gave us an opportunity to get Obi Randall and to see it, man. And I hope we get to see it some more. Because Obi was better than Randall today. And he would have just not gotten to play, and we would have lost out on that, and we wouldn't have gotten his production. We wouldn't have gotten his spacing and his shooting late in the game. He would have just been on the bench while Randall did nothing. Literally nothing. He hit the free throws at the end, though. Shout out to him for that. But, he wasn't, if you're not going to ever play Obi over Randall, despite what's going on in the game, then you've got to be willing to play them together. So I'm glad we saw it. Boom. Vito said Cam Reddish is here. That's a fact, man. Shout out to Cam once again, impacting both sides of the floor and in crunch time. Vizzy said Obi plus Randall equals W. That's a fact. Eat a dub. Yes, sir. Yum, yum, yum. Delicioso. Boom. Juan said, let's just be happy we won. Dang, happy we won, man. I don't care about who it was. Like, we won. We did not win. We did not lose. Neil said, they missing Embiid and Harden. I struggle to see how that's our problem. Win the ball game, and we did. Win the ball game. You can only play the team that you're playing. That's it. If you're playing the Sixers and Embiid and Harden happen to not be playing, oh well. The Sixers are going to play some other teams without Embiid and Harden this year, I'm sure. Harden's missing a month. Embiid misses time all the time. They're gonna be missing guys. Teams are missing guys every night, and they come out and they compete and they play and they get a dub. They're gonna beat a couple teams like that. Like Tyrese Maxey was going off. They still have a system. Guys are hitting shots. They're gonna beat a couple teams, and that we could have been one of those teams, and we were not. Once again, at the end of the year, we're jostling for playoff position. Hopefully, because we should be. When we're jostling for playoff position, nobody's gonna look back and put an asterisk on this win. It just counts as a win. That's it. 4-4. On to the next. Jamal said Julius had an amazing second half, by the way. I'm not sure if we watched the same game, brother. There were less ISOs and turnovers, though, yes. He was hitting the boards, you know. But I would find it difficult to say he had an amazing second half. Dia said, I don't want to see a single minute of Fournier after this. I am so glad, you know, we're on the same page. It's literally not necessary. And I'm going to be realistic, though. We're not going to get to tomorrow, and he's just not going to play Fournier at all. So be ready for it. Fournier's going to play. He just got taken out of the starting lineup today. So I don't know how long it's going to take, but I hope we do get to a point where he's not in the rotation. And no, that's not because I have something against Evan Fournier. I simply want what's best for the Knicks, and he is not. And there are guys that are quick, Grimes, Cam are all better for us, undeniably. I don't think anybody can refute that at all. I don't think anybody with sense or brain or, you know, something like, you know, that watches the games can refute the fact that Quick, Grimes, and Cam are all better for us than Evan Fournier. And if that's the case, then why should he be on the floor? Boom. Landis says, Sean, they actually experimented. We actually tried things. We tried something. He adjusted. You know, even getting Cam in there. Like, I thought that once I saw Evan come off the bench, I was like, okay, like, you know, Cam is probably not going to play. I was really glad he still found a way to get him out there. I was really glad he trusted him down the stretch of the game. And so, you know, that's adjustment. You know, Obi Randall is adjustment. Changing the starting lineup is adjustment. And, you know, at the very least, that's what we ask for. Just adjust. Don't be so stubborn and stuck in your ways that you won't try things that could help the team. Like, you know, don't die on hills of bad decisions just because you have to die on hills of bad decisions because you feel like you made them. No, adjust and be open. And we can be open to, like, I can be more open to Tibbs and Tibbs can be open to adjusting. I'm cool. Jamal said, I feel like that can't go unnoticed due to his first half. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. You know, he didn't have a terrible second half, but I don't think he was amazing. That's a strong word. Boom. Jamal says, shout out JB and RJ too, my dogs. Great, hey man, really big game from them, really big buckets from them. You know, and good to have them both going simultaneously. What they shoot from the field? 22 and 9 for RJ on 8 for 16 from the field. 2 for 8 from 3. That 2 for 8 from 3 is tough, man. That 2 for 8 from 3 is tough. And he had some really good looks today too. So, you know, I'm looking forward to, you know, that being 3 for 8 or maybe even 4 for 8. You know, and I think that's coming soon. I think he's shooting it. The first couple games with RJ shooting, it looked like ugly. It looked bad. Like the mechanics looked different. I was like, what's happening? The jumper looks better. You know, he looks more confident in it. He's hit it a couple times, so that, you know, breeds confidence too. But, you know, like these nights can easily be 3 for 8 or 4 for 8. And then that's 25 and 9 or 28 and 9. And, you know, but I'm really happy with that. 16 shots, 50% from the field. People can't say he was inefficient. They still will, though. Missed 2 free throws. Don't like that. But, hey, Julius was – oh, my bad. Julius had 17. Yeah, because he had more free throws, I think. 17, 10, and 5 for Julius. That's not a bad night. 6 for 13 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3. That's not a bad night. I'm sorry. I think I was just thrown off by the fact that he had 13 points in the first quarter and then didn't score. But I think in the second half he played more within himself rather than forcing. And so I still wouldn't call it amazing, but it was a better second half for sure. Jalen, 23.6 boards, 7 assists, 7 to 15 from the field, 8 for 9 from the free throw line, 1 for 4 from 3. I mean, even him, if he gets another 3 to 4, whatever, but 23, 6, and 7, that's an excellent game. Being able to go to the line, that one he missed at the end was confusing for me, but being get to the line 9 times and knock down 8 of them, that's really good. That's really good. And so, shout out to Jalen Brunson. He had 7 assists, only 1 turnover. That's really solid. I mean, that's really solid. You can't ask for much more than that. Neil said, 30 y'all in here, hit the like button. Hit the like button indeed, man. Hit the like button, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Send it to somebody afterward. Retweet the clips when they hit the timeline. All of that stuff helps us, so shout out to you guys. Appreciate you. Boom. Shout out JB. Oh, no, my bad. Wrong comment. Treats, what's good, my guy? Said prayers were answered. Thank you, God. I could not watch Evan Fournier start another basketball game, and now I never have to. For a moment like this, some people wait a lifetime. For a moment like this, oh, I can't believe it's happening to me. Wow, what a time. What a time to be alive. Boom. Nick said it's just good to be in post-game prosperity, man. For real, for real. Much better to be prosperous. I hate being angry and upset and complaining and being sad. I hate losing. Love winning, man. Even if it's a ugly win like tonight, just love winning. Boom. Michelle, what's good? Cam and Obi single-handedly saving Tibbs' job. Yo, the irony in that, man. The irony in that. And the irony in Cam and Obi. Cam who, he didn't really want to give time to last year. And didn't seem like he was going to get a rotation spot this year. And Obi who, he just refused to play more than a certain amount of time. Both of them coming together to save his job. Because I truly believe if we lost this game tonight, regardless of the fact that he made that starting lineup change, that seat would have gotten really, really hot. I got a Bleacher Report notification saying the Knicks need to fire Tibbs. For the first, I think there were plenty of times last year where I should have gotten that Bleacher Report notification and didn't. So, it was very, very surprising to get it today. Last time. So, I think the pressure was up for sure. Neil said, if you don't smell bad, hit the like button to help TKW. Real, Neil. You heard him. If you go ahead, do it. Do a check, If you do smell bad, we still like your like. But if you don't like it, it means you might smell bad. So, Boom. Vito said, it's so weird how Knicks fans watch RJ looking for everything he does wrong. IDKY, we can't just enjoy our young, good player. Bro, it's ridiculous. They just, I don't know. They just, want him to, I don't get it. I don't get it, man. But I'm happy he had a good night tonight. I'm looking forward to the jumper falling even more. I'm glad it doesn't look, just impossible right now, like it did a little earlier in the season. And so I'm looking forward to, like I said, these 2 of 8 from threes, looking to be 3 of 8, 4 of 8. Excuse me, because that takes 22-point game to a 25-point game, 28-point game. Start flirting with 30. I'm looking forward to it. I think RJ's close to dropping the 30s. He looked comfortable attacking the basket today. He had shots at different angles. And it's funny because anytime RJ misses a layup or misses a finish at the basket, everybody says, oh, he can't finish, blah, blah, blah. And then he gets to the basket and finishes well, and people just ignore it and act like it doesn't happen and only focus on the times he doesn't finish. So I would be interested in knowing what RJ's percentage at the basket is right now. Dia said remove Fournier and Rose minutes. Sadly, Rose, but yeah, we're not getting a lot out of him right now. And lower Randall's minutes by 5, and Obi, Cam, and Grimes get 25 minutes each. That would be perfect. That would be great. That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful for sure. Vizzy said Michelle and Tibbs will still give them 10 minutes max. Hey man, come on man, we gotta speak it into the positive. Neil said 43 and only 9 likes. SMH, y'all are fake. Neil, you're a real one. Must be bots in here. That's hilarious. Come on, hit that. Mike Cortez, TKW in the building. Yes, sir. Cam, one of the best perimeter defenders we have. That's a fact, man. between Cam, Grimes, IQ, RJ, what he's capable of. I mean, we just have them on the floor, man. We don't need Evan Fournier to play. But yeah, man, Cam's perimeter defense, he fights through screens so well. He uses his length well. He's got good feet. He's active. He closes out. He rotates. He does everything you want a guy to do on the floor defensively, man. Shout out to Cam Reddish. And he's got active hands in the passing lanes. Julio said, "I'm so happy." Whoops, with the wrong emoji. Is that the wrong emoji, or are you happy but you're also a little furious because it was that close? I understand that if so, but hey man, choose to hold on to the positive. And we rolling in there. We coming back to the Garden tomorrow. Let's get a dub against Boston. I think it's possible. I know that a lot of people just feel like, no, this is gonna be a hard month. We're not gonna beat any of these teams. We're not. I think we can beat Boston. I want to smack Boston. I want to make a little statement like, hey, we are not trash. Like, we are a good basketball team. If we beat Boston and we're 5-4 and, have a win against Boston under our belt, I think we look pretty good. I think, 5-4 going into Minnesota. I don't think Minnesota's a team we can't beat. Come on. One game at a time. Boom. Neil said, they said Obi Toppin is a dud. A dud. Listen, they said a lot about my guy Obi, man. And, I think that most of that has stopped now, though. I think everybody sees it. Obi's got to play. Obi's got to play no matter what. No matter what has to be done, no matter who's got to be moved, no matter who's got to sit, no matter who's got to play less time. Obi Toppin has to play. He's too impactful. He's shooting the ball extremely well and with extreme confidence, too. That's I'm so happy about that, bro. Not just the shooting, but the confidence in the jumper, man. Like, we've all been here. So you remember year one, like Obi would shoot a three, because they've been using him like a spot-up shooter forever, even though that wasn't his strength. And when he would shoot a three, he would have, like, his feet would not be set right, and he would, like, he would airball them. He would, it would be bad. It would look bad at times. And I think that started to affect his confidence even when he was open. And, to see him being such a confident, knockdown shooter, bro, shout out to my guy, Obi Toppin, man. That's the work paying off. Like, you see that. He said he worked on his jumper a lot, and you can see how much he worked on the jumper from, the first game of the preseason. He pulled from, 6 feet behind the three-point line. He missed it. But it was very encouraging to me. That was one of my favorite shots. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, he believes in that jumper. He worked on that. Like, he believes in that jumper, and he's shooting it at about a 50% clip. And it's not one of those sample sizes that's not large enough. He's letting them fly. He's not getting as many minutes as he could, but hopefully now he gets more going forward. But he's letting it fly, bro. And he has that same vertical ability. He's a lob threat. He also runs the floor extremely well, and he's shooting the lights out, man. Shout out to Obi Toppin and the work he put in. Clap it up for my guy, man. We love you, Obi. Boom. Big Task Hand said, I hate Sean. I was trolling the 76ers in their chat. They hate me. Hey, man. Way to do the work that needed to be done. Way to get out there and make it happen. You feel me? I'm not going to troll the 76ers too much. They were missing 2 guys. But we beat Boston tomorrow. I'm going to start getting kind of loud. I had to shut up a little bit, I had to shut up a little bit. We lost 3 straight. I got to be quiet. It's a tough time. All right. I still think this team is very capable. I know a lot of people were talking about, tank or blah, blah, blah. We suck. And, I understood, being discouraged. But like I said, after that last game, it was like, I'm going to leave that last game behind. I think the scariest thing about this game is that it resembled too many other games from last year. And it gave me PTSD personally. I'm sure it did that for a lot of us. And so I was just scared that we wouldn't adjust, because the failure to adjust is part of why that last game happened. And I didn't want to keep seeing it happen. So we saw adjustment, and I think that's very encouraging. And I think that this team, plus Tibbs adjusting and playing the right guys and giving the right guys minutes and figuring that out, can be a solid team, man. Can be a good team. I still think that. Julio said, I am happy. LOL. Exactly. We happy, man. There's joy in here. Post-game prosperity. Yes, sir. Neil said, love what we saw from Cam. Hope he gets more of an opportunity to show us what he can be. He has to. It's inevitable. He has to. For sure. He almost should, I feel like, Grimes got started, and I love it. I love Quentin Grimes. I like that he got that look. Of course, it's going to take him some time. He hasn't played at all. So he's got to get into a rhythm. But I think that, Quick earned it the most. And I think that Cam has also earned it at times. But, Grimes got it. And I know that once he plays, he'll earn it. And I'm happy with him having it. But I just think that all of those guys deserve priority over number 13, man. For real. That's not to, I hate to say that as if I'm trying to make them about him. I'm not. But, for them to play, for Cam to play, Evan has to not. We don't need to, what did Evan play tonight? How many minutes? 14 minutes. Like, I'm glad it's only 14 minutes, but like, that's a wasted 14 minutes. We don't need those 14 minutes. Like, rather than Evan playing 14 minutes, like, tonight Cam got 15 minutes, Quick got 21 minutes, Grimes got 15 minutes. So like, I would like to distribute the rest of those 14 minutes between the guys who should be playing. Simple. Boom. Landis said November 4th, 2022, the end of an era. Hashtag end of Evan, man. We called for it, and we finally got it. We finally got it, man. I was using that hashtag from over almost a year ago. Diaz said, I liked second half Randall. He stopped the ISO and just let the game come to him. And RJ needs more plays, especially at the end of games. Felt like he didn't touch the ball the last quarter. Yeah, like RJ, we need to get him more looks. We need to get him coming off curls and attacking, getting downhill, putting him in position to he was 2 for 8, and all those threes, all those threes are spot ups. And so half his shots tonight, he was 8 for 16. Half his shots were spot up threes. He was 2 for 8 from 3, 8 for 16 from the field. That means he was 6 for 8 from not shooting threes, and those are shots that he created himself. And he was 6 for 8 creating them. And so I think that you got to give him the opportunity to do more of what he does better and less of what's not going well right now. Like, of course, I would love for RJ, I love him taking those shots. I don't want him to stop shooting, but I don't want that to be half of his shot profile. I did that math right, yeah? He was 8 for 16, so he was 2 for 8 and 6 for 8. Yeah, okay, cool. Got nervous for a second. Jamal said, and second half Julius was good. I wouldn't say amazing, but he was better because it was less of the ISO stuff. Jamal said, Cam is so good, man. I love him. I agree, man. I agree. He's so good. He's really impactful. I love the way he plays. I love the way he's got the energy defensively, the effort defensively. He gets through the screens. He's got active hands. It's great. It's great. It's very helpful for the team. Treat said, oh, damn, where'd it go? Okay, Treat said, remember the 4th of November. Remember the 4th of November. Remember the 4th of November. Hashtag end of Evan. Hashtag bench the French. We made it, ladies and gentlemen. Julio said, what's the deal with D Rose? Is he washed? Hey, man. Certain things I just can't find it in me to say. I also, he said himself a lot that, he doesn't play pickup in the summer. And so he's got to get back up to speed. We're 8 games in. So I'm hoping that, we see better from him. But he doesn't he has that extra gear, that extra step that, that gets him into the lane and by his defender and breaks down defenses. We're not really seeing that so much. And so I hope that we do start to see it. I don't want to call him washed. But, he has looked potentially washed. But I don't want to call him washed. Sean Irwin, my guy, finally made a post-game show. Obi is such a dude. RJ was good, and JB is so good. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Obi is a dude for sure. He's got to get more time. He's got to get as much opportunity as possible. RJ was good tonight. Really enjoyed it. And Jalen Brunson, man, very impactful. 23, 6, 7. Knocking down free throws, getting to the line, setting up the offense. Great job. Excuse me. Dia said, when Cam uses his brain while attacking, he is actually special. Yeah, exactly, man. That the steps, the way he uses his steps, the length of his steps, the quickness, and the decisiveness of them. I don't know. He's really good getting to the basket, using those last 2 steps, and finishing around the rim. Neil said, D Rose cooked, breaks my heart, but it's time to let the deuce loose. Rose and Fournier for Russ. Buy out Russ and let Fenty. Buy out Russ and let Fenty sign him is crazy. But yeah, Fournier and Rose for Russ would be a great move. I don't know. I know the Lakers just moved Russ to the bench, so maybe it worked out for them in that game. I forgot who that game was against. I think it was the Pelicans with no BI. But it worked out for them in that game, and I don't know how they're feeling. Maybe they're happy and they want him over there. I don't know. But Fournier and Rose for Russ would be a good move. Get Evan Fournier out of my way. And Derrick Rose, he said himself, he doesn't care how many minutes he plays. He said, hey, if we got to play deuce, play deuce. So, yeah, it might be time to let the deuce loose for real. Or, just lean those minutes into quick Cam and IQ. Either way, though. Dia said, people saying that RJ can't finish are blind. He has finished really good this season. It's just like his three that's a bit off. Yeah, man, the three hasn't fallen, and it's fallen more than it was in the beginning, but it's still not really falling, so it's still a lower percentage. But yeah, he's been finishing around the basket. Like, he's had a couple misses that aren't the greatest, but like for the most part, he's been finishing. He's shooting a pretty good percentage in the paint. And I still think that there's a tax on that because there's a lot of times where he gets fouled where he shouldn't get fouled. Like on nights where RJ's 8 for 18, he's probably really 8 for 15 with 3 shots that he should have gone to the free throw line for. Boom. Neil said 17 leg parlays. Sean, we might need to get you on that hotline. See, I know it might sound crazy, but the reason I do a 17 leg or like that I did a 17 leg is because like I really I feel like I hedge my bets which is why so many of them hit. Because and I also do it for like a little bit. Like I do it for like $2.50 or like $5. Like I'm not like throwing, So it's like I do it so that like, instead of taking 5.5 rebounds for 6.5 rebounds for Tobias Harris, I'll take 4.5 because like no way he doesn't get 5, And so but like the more things like that you do, the odds blah blah blah, you got to add more in. So I try to take very 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 safe ones. Maybe I got to stop doing that, but I don't know. But it can't really, last week I had a 20 game parlay that missed by 1 because De'Aaron Fox didn't hit any threes. I was sick to my stomach, bro. Amazement said, man, we had to win this game with Sixers without Embiid and Harden. Shouts out to Obi for clutch shots. Reddish was big on defense late, too. He needs to be in the rotation now. Glad for Grimes, too. Glad for Grimes. Reddish definitely needs to be in the rotation. He's earned it. His defense, his activity is really great. Him getting to the basket, transition, all of it. And yet, Obi was great. Had some big-time shots. Shout out to my guy. And we definitely had to win this game with the Sixers without Embiid and Harden. So I'm glad we pulled it out. Glad we got the dub. Geraldine says, salute, 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 Geraldine, salute. Mason said, hope Mitch injury isn't too serious. I really do hope it's not too serious. I hope he's all right and we can keep moving. Eric Kang, what's good, my guy? I'm just happy we won. I'm happy we won as well. Precisely. Just happy we won. Sam said, what's up with D-Rose sitting so much? I swear he can help us so much during those runs where no one can score, especially quick. Why are we going especially quick? Derrick Rose is not scoring. Like, quick didn't shoot well today, but like, Derrick Rose is not scoring. He has not looked that good offensively. So I don't know why I went to especially quick. Landis said, there for a little while I didn't see prosperity in our immediate future. We have been blessed. We have been blessed indeed, man. We have been blessed indeed. November 4th shall live on forever. Neil said, D-Rose is cooked, bro. I don't want to say he's cooked, but yeah, that's the reason he's not playing as much. Amazing said, man, now I'm wondering how the rotation is going to be now with Tibbs, especially with Grimes being back and Reddish playing solid. His deal on Max in the fourth quarter is big. Can't teach length. And he's active, too. He moves. He uses his length well defensively. Got to play him. The only way for the rotation to make sense is for Evan Fournier to stop playing. Slimesy said, Knicks fans always talk about RJ's field goal attempts, but won't mention Maxey scoring 30 on 30 shots. They won't. Now, and I'm not saying they should. Like, at the end of the day, I mean, shout out to Maxey. He had a good game. He was very impactful. But, yeah, he did take 30 shots. And he did shoot 34.5% from the field. But they'll just say he had a great game. And that's my thing, bro. That's what bothers me. I'm glad you said that. That bothers me, bro. It bothers me. If RJ took 29 shots, they'd be like, oh, he's chugging. Of course he got 30 points, blah, blah, blah. Maxey, they're just going to say he's great. Oh, he's great. He's so good. And I'm not saying he's not. Maxey's amazing. And there was nobody, he had to shoot. And he hit some, but yeah, he was 10 for 29. So, but nobody's going to put an asterisk next to that. They're just going to appreciate Tyrese Maxey scoring 30 points. But we can't do that for RJ. We've always got to find some, oh, he didn't do this or he should have done that, blah, blah, blah. And I think, quite frankly, it's kind of disgusting. And I'm not saying that we can't say RJ should be better. Like I said, 8 for 16 tonight, 2 for 8 from 3. I would like him to shoot better than 25% from 3. So I would like that to be 3 for 8. I would like that to be 4 for 8. And hopefully we can move toward that. But the jumper looks smoother. It looks more confident. And I'm looking forward to it falling at a higher clip so that his 3-point shooting can start to match the way that he's scoring in the paint, even though people pretend he's not. And then boom, now you're getting 25-point performances, 22-point performances left and right. Boom. Juan said, "LOL, the Jada kiss is." Was it okay? Was it close? Was it close? I hope it was close. Neil said, Knicks fans wishing Maxey dropped 40. Yeah, man. The man was like, yo, show Knicks fans tonight that you're better than them. Like, yo, like, I get it, bro. Like, you feel me? Dennis Madrid is my guy. That's the homie. I was wishing for, I wanted him to play well when we played against Hornets, but I wanted him to lose. But I wasn't like, yo, come in here and show them, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, don't show us nothing. Like, you feel me? Like, I don't get putting like your agenda for a player on the other team over a player on your own team and your team as a whole. Kind of wild to me. But hey, man, you know, people do this fanhood thing differently, and I don't tell anybody how to do it. Amazement said, do you like Randall and Obi in the game at the same time? It didn't look that bad together, even though Embiid didn't play tonight. I mean, yeah, that's not something that necessarily works against an Embiid. Against Embiid, you got to have a big body. You know, you got to have somebody out there. But what I always tell people when things like that come up is that the league does not have a lot of Joel Embiids. Like, outside of Joel Embiid and, like, Nikola Jokic, like, maybe Jonas Valanciunas, maybe, what's his name? Nurkic? Maybe. No, honestly. But, like, there's not a lot of centers in the league where it's like, oh, man, like, we gotta be able to stop him tonight. Like, that's not a thing. And, like, you know, I don't think Hart provides so much rim protection that, like, Obi can. You know, we were moving, we were switchable. You know, the floor was spaced on the other end. So, yeah, I loved Obi Randall, and I hope we get more of it. Boom. We surveyed 100 people. There's a hilarious YouTube name. Salute to you. Jamal said, Ju and Obi looked incredible together, for real, truly. Vizzy put fire emojis, that's a fact. Jamal said, I'm going to head out because it's a Friday night, but go Knicks, Sean. Have a great night, bro. You too, bro. Have a great night and enjoy your week, enjoy your Friday, and hopefully the Knicks allow us to enjoy tomorrow. Landis said, Obi's per 36 is absurd, bro. Play the man. Stop playing with him. And, you know, when he's kind of always had an insane per 36, since last year at least. Last year's per 36 was insane, but everybody's like, oh, small sample size. You just think that if he played 36 minutes, he'd be able to do that. He's doing it against benches, blah, 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 blah. Stop all that. He's just really good at basketball and impacts basketball very well, and he needs to be on the court. Amazing said, I think Reddish had the highest plus-minus, too. He was really good tonight and really, really impactful on the floor for sure. Isabel was good. Look at that. What a win, LMAO. Made me proud to have been on the Obi train since day 0. This feels like a good step in the right direction. It certainly did. It really did. Isabel said, Cam playing Evan out of a job had me in tears laughing. Love it. Absolutely love it, man. Oh, my goodness. Collect your check, sir. Here you go. Great finesse. Ski Mask Hall of Fame. Get out of my rotation. AJ Burt said, no excuse now for Tibbs not to play them together. No excuse at all, bro. No excuse at all. Lunatic Review said, took Tibbs long enough to make adjustments. It most certainly did, but I will take it. Neil said, 3 years. What are we talking about there? I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. I wish I knew. Landis said, I need 15-plus minutes of Cam guarding Tatum tomorrow. Facts. I would love to see Cam out there guarding Tatum. I think he's probably RJ hasn't been defending the way I believe he's capable of defending. He locked Tatum up last year. But, you know, we're not getting that version of RJ defensively. I hope we do tomorrow. But Cam on Tatum would be great. Isabel said, the main thing that frustrated me about this, besides those really, really dumb turnovers, was the amount of easy rebounds they gave up, especially down the stretch. Massive oof. Yeah, the turnovers are crazy. Oh, my goodness, the turnovers are nuts. And we gave up way too many rebounds, way too many second opportunities, letting the ball bounce around, getting a rebound and not securing it for real. Like, way too much of that. We played around. Neil said, Obi and IQ should always be the first big and guard the bench. Always. Like, without fail. Literally without fail. And I think that, and I've said before, like, if you want to have, you want to go with the rim protector or whatever, I just think that the easiest way to do this, to get Obi more minutes, and I've been saying this since last year, is have Obi sub for Mitch. Instead of having Hart sub for Mitch and play with Mitch, have Obi sub for Mitch, and then have Hartenstein sub for Randall when it's time for Randall to come out. And that way you can ensure that Obi gets a lot of minutes, or gets more minutes. You get 2-3 minutes of Obi Randall, whatever, in each half. I think that works. Treat said, in the beginning of the season, we were way better at defending, so I'm wondering why we weren't able to maintain that. Treats his son. Hey, your son is spitting. Honestly, I'm just hoping that, defensively we stay active, and I think we had better defenders on the floor tonight. And we weren't exactly bad defensively tonight. I mean, Tyrese Maxey went off, but he also took 30 shots. And so we just got to make sure we're closing out to the perimeter. I think we gotten sprayed by a couple of teams. Like the Cavs had 23 threes on us. So we just got to make sure we're closing out. And we also got to make sure we're limiting teams to one shot. I think that's most important because it's like if you're getting stops and not, those stops turn into points anyway, then your defense looks worse even when you play defense well. And so, it's tough to get a stop, but it's tough to get 2 stops on the same possession and 3 stops on the same possession, especially when guys are out of position after rebound. So I think, making sure we limit teams to one shot is a huge part of it. And also having guys on the floor who don't get walked around and who can fight through screens and stay in front of their man so that everybody doesn't have to over collapse. And I also want to, we need to do a better job communicating on screens. Like our communication on screens recently has been kind of weird. Like we see a lot of times both guys run away from the guy with the ball, and it's like, what are we doing? We see a lot of times where if there's a screen and then they swing it, we don't react in time to close out. It's just we got to fix that. Jessel Cash said, but there is no real Randall trade. What do you mean? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Claudia said, LMAO, your face. Now I'm dying. I wonder when that was for. Okay, but that was when he said Julius had an excellent second half, amazing second half. He said, nah, I meant late fourth quarter. IDKY said second half. Yeah, late fourth quarter, he was much better, for sure. Yeah, mid second half, I was like, I don't know about that. Landis said, I wonder if every fan base is lucky enough to have a show of this caliber. Landis, come on, bro. Come on, bro. That's so dope. Thank you. That's, wow. But honestly, this show's caliber is because of you guys and the consistency you show up with. The intelligence of your comments, and just the support you guys have and the love we all have for this team. Like, this show is literally all of us. So shout out to you guys for that. Every fan base doesn't have these fans. It doesn't have you guys. And so every fan base doesn't have fans that are as knowledgeable, as sensible, and as rational. We have a lot of fans in the Knicks fan base who aren't, but those of us who come here, we all are, and I'm glad that you guys are, and I'm super appreciative of you guys every single time. And that's you guys who watch it live. That's you guys who watch it afterward, whatever it may be. Thank you so much on behalf of myself and everybody at TKW. We greatly appreciate you for everything that you engage with content-wise, for all the support, all the love, all the time. Can't say enough. From the bottom of my heart, love y'all. Boom. Amazing said, facts. Pressure was up this game for us to win. I think this team has potential, but not with Tibbs. I think this team can't reach its full potential because of his rotations and stubbornness. Hey, man, I don't want to talk about his stubbornness tonight. I can't. That would be hypocritical of me for me to ask a guy to simply adjust, please, and beg for it, and say, if you adjust, I can tolerate it, and then for him to adjust and me to talk about him not adjusting. Can't do it. Okay, he got a pass for me for tonight for the stubbornness thing, and hopefully moving forward, we start to see more things like him playing Fournier less, him going to Obi Randall more, or getting Obi more time, whatever, because I want him to react to what's going on in the court, what's happening in the games. And as long as he does that, I won't speak on stubbornness because there's no stubbornness to speak on in that case. So once again, can't say enough. Thank you, Tom Thibodeau, for taking Evan Fournier out of the starting lineup. We needed that. I'm very glad you did it. I'm very encouraged by that. I'm encouraged by seeing him make a change and make the necessary change. I'm encouraged by seeing him try Obi Randall in the second half and having it work out. So I'm hoping we get to see more of it. I'm hoping he gets Obi more minutes. But I cannot speak to his stubbornness tonight because he was not stubborn. And the fact that he adjusted helped us to win the game. So shout out to Tom Thibodeau. Amazing said, Tibbs is stubborn when it comes to playing younger guys. I understand if he feels like they're not ready yet, but you have to play these guys if it works. Hey, man, he started Quentin Grimes off of a foot injury. And Quentin Grimes was a second-year player who played his first game of his second year today. He played Obi down the stretch. He played quick. Once again, these are narratives that normally might be true, but I just can't go with it today. Danville was good. I'm laughing to the bank like, ha, ha, ha. Oh, wow, Chief Keep reference. Yes, sir. Laughing to the bank like, ha, ha, ha. Much needed win. Shout out Obi Toppin. Shout out Obi Toppin. Stun needs more minutes. Stun needs more minutes for sure. Definitely Stun needs more minutes. I wish my parlay hit so I could also laugh to the bank, but unfortunately not. But I am laughing to a dub. Key, what's good? A Sean, big W. Yes, sir. 10 toes. Every single one of us. They can't Handily, you know the vibes. Keith said, keep doing your thing, man. Happy we got to see Grimes start and Obi get important minutes. Shout out to you, Keith. Thank you so much. And yes, I'm so happy we got to see Grimes start. So happy we got to see important Obi minutes, and so happy we got to see him thrive in those minutes. Claudia said it bothers me too how this fan base talks about RJ, bro. It's bad, bro. And like, if I say something about it, everybody tries to act like, oh, like you don't want to criticize RJ ever. And it's like, bro, like I can criticize RJ. I can say, hey, he should have done this, or hey, like we need the jumper to fall. But like, I keep my critiques like realistic and like with context. Like I watch the games, so like we'll watch RJ not get any involvement in the offense or like not be reduced to a spot up shooter while the jumper's not falling, and then be like, oh, like he's mid, or oh, he's this, or oh, he's not this, or he's not it, blah blah blah. And it's just like, why? Like I don't get it. Honestly, outside of the Memphis game, which was horrible. The Memphis game was awful. The first half of the Detroit game was bad. No, Detroit game was good all the way through. The first half of the Magic game was bad, but he had a good second half. But then they said the good second half didn't count because it was in garbage time, even though that was a close game. But whatever. Outside of that, he hasn't really had a bad game. But whatever, man. People are gonna say what they're gonna say. Amazement, yes sir. Blue and orange, we here. AJ Diaz was good. Brunson, RJ, Cam, Randall, Mitch. Need to see this lineup at some point. Hey, throw Obi in there instead of, never mind. But yeah, need to see it. Glad we got to see what we got to see today. Looking forward to see what, now that we've adjusted, seeing, what that leads to going forward. Very excited about the Celtics game tomorrow. I think we can go in there. I think we can come home and get a dub. Let's protect the Garden. Let's make a big, let's get a statement win, man. Like, I think that host game, we were supposed to win that game. Like, we should be 5-3 right now. Looking to go 6-3 tomorrow against the Celtics. But it's okay. You can't go back. You can't take that game back. Whatever. Let's come out strong against the Celtics and play 48 minutes of good basketball. Please. On that note, thank you guys so much for rocking. This is a whole hour show on a Friday night after a long, excruciating game. But you guys rocked the entire time. Some of you, whether you pulled up early, whether you pulled up late, whatever. I'm very appreciative of you guys. At TKW, we're very appreciative of you guys. You guys have a great night. And until tomorrow, enjoy. Love y'all from the bottom of my heart. Then I let it run off a little bit because sometimes when I hit end stream and blah blah blah. So do 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 do.